Hi guys, thank you again for coming. We're with Teachers of Nature and with the Camel Dairy, which is so exciting. I can't believe it. We are very lucky to have funding from the U.S. Institute of Museum and Library Services. This project is supported by them and under the provisions of the Library Services and Technology Act and the California State Librarian. So we're super grateful for them for sponsoring our virtual programs this summer. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Nancy Riegler and the Camel Dairy.
Well, thank you, Margaret. And hey, everybody. I hope you're having beautiful sunshiny weather like we're having here. We are not too far from y'all. The Oasis Camel Dairy is located in beautiful San Diego County, up the hill in a little town called Ramona. And on the dairy, we have all kinds of animals, but the stars, of course, are our 26 camels. Oh, and up until 2 weeks ago, it was 25. So you get a cool surprise later on in the program. So we have 26 camels. They're all the one-humped or dromedary camels. And we actually are a dairy and we milk our camels. So in addition to talking a little bit about camel milk, because it is totally fascinating, camels just on their own are completely incredible. And I could talk all day about it, and I probably will. But you know what? I want to turn stuff over to this guy. This is Gil Riegler, my handsome husband.
Hi, everybody.
And there's Camelot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn our camera around and film for Gil, and he is going to introduce you to our absolutely wonderful world of camels. So if you're ready, here we go.
Hi, everybody. So first thing, everybody asks, do camels spit? Well, if camels are treated badly, they'll learn how to spit, but they're not like llamas that spit to communicate. Like a llama will go, get away from me, and he'll do a little spit. That's natural for them. Camels never spit on each other. They only spit on people that have irritated them for a long period of time and deserve it. But once a camel is in a really fun place, if he's a little bored, he's going to go, hey, everybody, look what I know how to do. He's very proud of it. And then he'll spit at somebody. So for them, it's kind of a funny thing. Like they have a little sense of humor. And camels are just like dogs. If anybody has a dog, this is like a 1,500-pound, 8-foot-tall dog. And they act like dogs. We give them treats. We can tell them to sit down, which we'll do later on. And we'll give them a little treat. And just like a dog, exactly same thing. And that's why they're so much fun to work with. Like today before the Zoom, we knew Camelot, which is the name of this beautiful camel, needed to come out. So I looked over at our 12-acre pasture and I said, Camelot. And sure enough, out of all the camels, Camelot came up and pushed his way through the gate. And the whole time he's going, like, what are we doing today? Are we doing camel rides? Are we going to do a Zoom? And when I said Zoom, he was very happy because he just loves hanging out like this and getting all his treats. And that's what he's getting right now. His special food, which is alfalfa hay. See how green it is? And he absolutely just loves it. So he comes out here, he hangs out with you guys, and that way you get to know everything about camels. And at the same time, he gets to eat all his wonderful treats. He'll be here for hours doing this. So he just lets us do whatever we want to do. Now, like I said, they have a wonderful temperament. I love my horse, but horses spook sometimes because they have predators in the wild. Camels don't. So camels aren't scared about stuff. For camels, pretty much like if you see something that would scare a horse, the camel will look at it and go, that's okay. I'm big and strong. Nothing's going to bother me. So when you're around them, it's this, I feel very, very safe around camels. They also like giving camel kisses and they like being hugged. And
What?
like being brushed.
I want to see that. Who wants to see a camel kiss? I know you don't even have to hit your emoji thing. So we want to see it. Look at those legs.
Hi there.
Oh,
Hi.
More.
Hi.
Oh. He's like,
camel
what?
kiss. Like, I'm
Because
eating
I'm
my
eating
food.
right now.
I don't want kisses right now.
See, kids, they are just like us. It's like when you're doing something and somebody wants you to kiss grandma. It's like,
this is no. But look at this. Look at all his fur over here. Look how weird this is because I'm just going to do this and I'm going to pull his fur off. We'll wait till he puts his head back down again. And
that's a lot. He said, that's a lot of fur.
What is that? He says, I don't want kisses, but I want a treat. So he is losing his winter coat in the winter. That's your winter coat, mister. So in the winter, that really thick coat, you can see it over here. That's part of their really thick coat. So if it snows or if it's really, really cold or it's frosty, this keeps them nice and warm. It's kind of like you wearing a coat during the winter. You put on a sweatshirt with a hoodie and you stay warm. But what happens in the summer when it gets hot? This won't cause them to overheat. You know, we take off our jacket when it gets hot outside and we just have a t-shirt and a hat in the summer. So he gets rid of the fur. His body says, let go of the fur. And then we come in and we do this. What? See that? And that is his wonderful winter coat. It's naturally comes off. It's very, very, very soft. And you can get it spun. I'm going to put this down. But you can get it spun just like that. And then you can have thread and you can weave things out of it. And that's how they'll spin. And we'll have like little beanie caps and gloves and shawls and all made out of camel hair. So right now this camel is shedding. And camels, guess what? Camels love being brushed. So this is our brush we use for him. And I know it's kind of, it looks really weird, but he has really thick, thick skin. And he loves it when we grab the fur and pull it off. So you see this fur over here? I'm going to grab it. And I just go like that. And look at, we left this just for you guys. So you'll see what it looks like. Isn't this amazing? So look how beautiful this fur is. And then we're going to wash it and clean it and spin it. And then somebody can make a wonderful jacket or sweater or shawl or blanket out of it. So this, with that little work, I got all this wonderful, wonderful fur, just like cotton, just like silk.
Now I'm going to ask a question because I'm right here and we're in the same space.
Yeah.
So he comes from the desert. Why would a desert animal like this need such a thick winter coat?
Well, that's a great question. It gets really cold at night in the desert, especially in the winter. Really, really cold and frosty. Like I lived in the desert and I would have big jackets and gloves and hats. And during the day it would warm up a bit, but at night it's super, super, super cold. So the camels in the desert will grow, you know, a thick coat, a thicker coat, like in the winter to keep them nice and cool. Now, the colder the weather is going to be, the thicker the coat's going to be. Wow. So if there's a camel that lives up in New York, he's going to have a winter coat that's like twice as long as this. Camel's body goes, it's fall and it's getting really cold, colder than usual. And he grows this thicker coat and that keeps him nice and warm. So they just adapt to everything. So if it's going to be like, if I don't know if it's going to be a cold winter or not, I'll look at my camels. And if they're getting like, it's a little thin coat, I know it's not going to be that cold. If they're getting a thick coat, it's kind of like they know how cold it's going to be. It's like somebody telling you, you know, it's going to be very cold today. So you put on a really thick jacket or big jacket. Same thing with these guys. They can kind of like tell what the weather's going to be like. So right now it's coming off. And then all that's left is this kind of like really, really coarse hair. And the coarse hair kind of held that soft stuff in place. And if I go and I pull it, let me see if it comes out. Where will it come out the best? I think right over here. And this is you can see how coarse this is. So the nomads in the desert will take this and they'll make rope out of it. And it will be like a really, really strong rope. And they'll tie their tents with it. And they'll use it for their goats, like if they're going to have a little collar or something. So this is the guard hair. This is the soft down. And then it's very soft.
Kinds of hair.
Yeah, see that? So that's the soft.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the soft down.
That's the poofy.
Yeah, and then this
that's the floof.
Is the guard hair
the
that
rope.
keeps it in place. So this is rope, and this is a nice beanie or gloves or something like that.
Blanket.
Or blanket. So that's what we have to say about the camel hair. Let's talk a little bit more about hair on a camel, because if you look at his ears, this camel's really good. He lets us touch everywhere. But look at his ears. You can see he turns his head around and says, no, look, that's my bad ear.
That's my bad
Look
ear.
at my other ear. But you can see there's all this fur on it, and that keeps sand from blowing in there during a sandstorm. So this hair protects him over here. And now look at his eyelashes. These are his eyelashes, and they're that long.
Whoa.
Yeah, so all the women always look at the camels and go, wow, those are amazing eyelashes. And he has two sets. He has the long ones Camel, stop looking away.
She's
And
right in
then
my
he has these
face.
really small, short ones right there. Look, he's turning away. He's like,
It's
okay,
like she's
stop.
right in my face. This is so awkward.
This is very awkward. I'm kind of shy.
I
I don't
know.
know. She's looking at my eyelids and eyelashes.
Just trying to eat my breakfast.
So that's where they have where hair actually is used and helps them out. Over here we have more of the guard hair. We already brushed out all the down. Pretty soon all the guard hair is going to fall out, and then you'll have this really, really thin coat, and this will grow out and turn into that really thick, like winter coat next year. So
this hair keeps getting longer?
Yes, this hair keeps getting longer. So the hair, while the hair was coming out, this old jacket, this old winter coat, the new hair started coming in, and it's going to be kind of short during the summer and keep them nice and cool. That reflects the sunlight and keeps them cool. And then it's going to get longer and longer. By the time it's fall, it's going to be about this long. And then next year it'll be that long, and then it will shed. And that's a cycle of the fur. So you don't have to buy them jackets or hoodies or any gloves or anything. They come with everything built in. And
That's pretty nice.
It works really, really good for camels.
Oh, that was the intro to who you're going to meet next. We have a youngster that's bothering his older brothers and sisters. Sneak peek, sneak peek. There. Oh my gosh, drama.
He's tiny.
Drama. Sneak peek. So, Gil, can we talk a little bit about how they work with? We're going to talk to you a little bit about how his nose works. It's very different in some ways than other animals, in that when he's in a situation where, again, maybe sandy, or even if rain was going to get in it, he can actually close his nose down by using muscles to do that.
Right here.
So he can close that up tight so that water or sand cannot get in there, because they really try to keep both of those things out. And then camels have a special, if you look at the shape of his nose, he has a very large sinus cavity that it has sort of like a bony honeycombed structure inside. And that structure, when he blows air out, when he exhales, it creates condensation. If you don't know what condensation is, it's like when it's warm in your house, but it's cold outside, and then water forms on the windows. You know, that would be an example. Or when there's moisture.
If you look at an air conditioner, you'll see water dripping out of it, because the air conditioner is kind of cool and it pulls in hot air and it condensates. So the humidity condensates and turns from like a steam to real water, and then it just kind of drips down. So he does the same thing, because the air in his lungs has a lot of humidity in it, and he doesn't want to lose it.
So if you look, it's a little hard to see, and we'll look at more camels later, but between his nostrils, there's a little bit of a, no, Dad will be right back. There's a little bit of a gutter, and that gutter takes the moisture that was in his nasal passage that was collected and recycle it back down into his mouth, and then he can reabsorb it or swallow it. And so that's completely different than what we do. What we do is, so hang on. So wonderful. So sorry about that. I don't know what I touched, but it didn't like it. So I'm going to talk to you a tiny bit about probably one of the coolest adaptations that the camel has, and that is these gorgeous feet of his. This is where camels really differentiate from other what we call hoofed animals. They're not a hoofed animal at all, guys and girls. They're a footed animal, just like you or me or our dogs and our cats. And that is, they stand on a soft pad or padded feet, and then they have toenails out in front. In his case, oh, nice movement. In his case, he only has 2 toes, where a person, of course, has 5 exposed toes, and a dog has 4, and then that one little dew claw up a little bit higher on the, I guess you would call that like the dog's wrist in a way. But these feet are specially designed so that when they're lifted off the ground, this is a good example. Right now, he's got all his weight on the other foot. So this one is a little bit less squishy than that one. But if he would do us a favor and put his foot back over, see how it squishes out sideways? And that's squishing out, and then he'll lift it up again, and he'll kind of lean the other way. What a good helper. And you see it get elongated. And then when he comes back, it gets fatter. And that fattening or that widening of the foot is why they don't sink into the sand. Because think about it, you're walking along and you put pressure down on something soft. But if as you're putting your pressure down, instead of digging down vertically, your foot put its energy horizontally, put the energy sideways. And that's exactly what the camel's foot does. It puts that energy sideways or spreads it out. And that is why camels do not sink in the sand, not like a horse would, or even like you or I would. It's such a unique adaptation. I love how mellow he's being, you guys. And you heard the little crunching sounds when he's eating. I love this sound. He's so cute. So when camels eat, I can just see him swallow and go get another bite. When camels eat, they move the feet to their, or excuse me, they move the food to their molars, more in the back of their mouth, so more back along here. And then they've got very, very strong, flat molars. And as you can see, when he chews, he kind of grinds side to side. He sort of has a funny motion with his lips and his mouth. And that funny motion is to get the grass or whatever he's eating onto those flat molars. And then those powerful grinding surfaces are what's going to break down the hay. And then he's able to swallow it. But Gil's going to tell you something cool, because when he's eating his food, eating it and swallowing it, that's just the first part. He's got a lot more to do. Oh, he just swallowed. He's got a lot more to do with that bite. And Gil's going to tell you how that whole system works.
Well, it's really interesting. So, how many stomachs do we have? We have one stomach. That's what we have. We eat and it goes straight through. That's a little gross talking about this stuff. It goes straight through. Well, camels have 3 stomachs. 3. So what they do is they chew the food the way he's chewing it right now. They don't chew it a lot. They just chew it enough to swallow it, put a lot of moisture in it. You're a good boy. He's listening. Maybe he doesn't know about all.
He likes stuff. The food part.
So he's eating now. So there's it goes down, and there's 1, 2, 3 stomachs. So he chews it. It goes down to the first stomach. He sits there for a while, maybe for a few hours at least, and then he actually brings it all the way back up, and he chews it again, and then he brings it all the way down. He swallows it again, and now it's in the second stomach. And it sits there for a while also, and it gets even more ripe, and more bacteria get on it, break it down. Then he brings it up again, and he chews it again. And then it goes down to the third stomach, and then it goes to his system. So you know how people tell you, or your mom and dad say, chew your food really good. Don't swallow it. Chew it really good. The more you chew it, the easier it is to digest it. So he chews 3 times. And that's why he can eat trees. You see this tree over here? He can eat the tree. He can eat the bark off of this, pull it off and eat it. And when it comes out, it's all digested and very, very fine.
Hey, I'm going to swing the camera around for a minute, because I'm looking at our pasture and I'm seeing a couple of other camels that are chewing their cud too. So this camel here, look at how much of her winter coat she still has. This is Fergie. And Fergie, see how she just brought something up? She wasn't eating, but all of a sudden she's chewing something. And that's because she brought cud up from her stomach, probably her first stomach. And then she's chewing it and she swallowed it.
Let's get really, really close to her neck, because you'll see it come up again.
Okay. Hopefully you guys get to see this. Okay. Let's see if she'll
Oh,
do
wait a
it.
second.
Right now she's into us. Maybe she'll do it.
So now maybe it went down to the second or third stomach, and then she's going to keep drinking that food. I guess we interfered. And
we interrupted.
But
that's
just
okay,
wait a second,
because
she'll start
it's
chewing
like the
again.
cud chewing place. There, she just brought one up. I think she just did it.
Okay.
This is what we do in the country, people.
See,
we don't
now
have
she brought
TV.
it up.
Yep.
See, she has a mouthful now. She didn't have a mouthful before a moment, and she didn't eat anything. I'm going to get that fur out of her mouth. This is your winter coat. That's sticking in.
I didn't mean to. I was scratching an
Don't eat
itch.
that over there. You're a good girl.
I
Look
love
at
it
her
when they
winter
look
coat.
like this. And she just looks like so, she looks like a rebel. But basically she's like, oh, are you gonna take my fur off?
It's so much fun to do this. Look,
Oh my gosh.
can't even tell you how.
She's moving the camera.
Oh, yes, it is.
So Nancy and Gil, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording in just a second, so we have time for everyone to ask questions. Did you have anything else you wanted to add real quick before I stop the recording?
Well, we're going to head right this way and say hello to the newest member. Oh, I'm going to come in quiet. Newest member of the dairy. This is our new little baby boy. And what a perfect time to come over because he's asking mom for milk. And I can even get this camera pretty close in there. So this baby camel is only 2 weeks old. This is his mom, Candy. And see how he's kind of asking for milk, but there really wasn't any milk there right then. That's because camels drop their milk a lot like humans deliver milk to their babies. So Candy's got milk up in her udder, but there's no milk until the baby comes up, asks the mom to give milk. Oh, they're saying hi. Asks the mom to give milk. It's the cutest thing ever. And then the mother lets down her milk and the baby has 90 seconds. Now see how friendly, this is actually Adam, and Adam is 4 months old, where his little baby brother or half brother is only 2 weeks old. But look how gentle and sweet they are, and they really like each other. Camels are very friendly with each other, but because he's, look, there's one of the other mama camels going, who is that? And then the other mom, look, here's Candy, here's his mother. And she's not even concerned about what's going on because basically he's just meeting the rest of his family. And when he gets a little bit bigger, he's going to be able to go out into the pasture with everybody. But right now he's just so itty bitty compared to everybody else. He was about 70 pounds when he was born. Their gestation or their pregnancy period is about 13 months. Look at those feet work just like amazing camel feet. And I'm so glad that we got to talk to you a little bit and we could answer questions about him too. So I'm going to move back over here with our big boy and our camel expert, Gil. And yes, by all means, let's open up for some questions.